Tonight, Portland is reeling. After 6 weeks of violence, protesters once again storming federal property, setting a fire at a courthouse. Now, Oregon's Attorney General is asking for a temporary restraining order to stop what she argues are unlawful arrests of protesters by federal agents.
If they had identified themselves, would this be an issue?
That's part of it, and that would certainly help. But they also are not giving any explanations for what they're doing or why they're doing it.
Portland's Democratic mayor blames President Trump, saying the recent arrival of federal officers inflamed the situation.
Get them out of here.
But the president says local officials had lost control. While many protests have been peaceful, there's also been violence against police and looting.
These are anarchists, and the politicians out there, yes, they're weak, but they're afraid of these people. They're actually afraid of these people, and that's why they say, we don't want the federal government helping.
Susan Landa owns a jewelry shop near the protests.
How has it impacted your business?
Well, I've had to board up since May 31st because I'm worried about the vandalism, and it's killing me.
For mother of two, Beverly Barnum, the sight of federal agents brought her out to protest for the first time. She's organized a group called the Wall of Moms.
And I figured if I could get some moms out here that maybe we would quell some of that violence. People wouldn't feel the need to throw water bottles or throw rocks or throw bricks. They would have us to protect them.
Outside the federal courthouse, the fencing twice torn down is now being taken away. More protests expected tonight.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.